Salutations, Gorilla Nation, and welcome to Overwatch 2 here on the Pittsburg State Esports Twitch. The weather outside might be cold and gross, but in here it is so warm and we are ready. My name is Mark Ziegler. I'm going to be your commentator this evening in this doubleheader of an Overwatch match. Our first match against tonight is against the Alexandria Tech and Community College Legends. It's looking like we have a pretty stacked lineup here. We have Professor Comedy, our captain, on tank tonight. We have Ragai Plays and Whiskery doing damage, and we have Izuyoi Sakia and Elkratz playing support. And it is looking like to me we have an opposition of Lemon Father, Sparks Jedi 06, Inked Cactus, Frogapon, and Pezzy. Alright, folks, well, we are going to get ready to start the control round here any moment now. Control is, of course, a basic King of the Hill style game. First one to capture 2 points is the winner. Alright, folks, well, we're going to get started here soon, so stick tight. Alright,
All
folks.
arriving at Ilios.
We have ourselves a game to play here. Looking like our teams are getting ready early on. Looks like Whispery's going to take a Sombra, potentially. Oh. Alright, heroes are being assembled.
Match.
Looks like we have chosen Ilios as our first map, a popular vacation spot for our guerrillas, and also a great place to use your movement-based ability attacks, or anything that involves crowd control. So think like a Lucio sonic attack, or potentially a coach gun from Ashe, or a concussive blast from Pharah, or a, sorry, not sorry when I say this, but maybe a Maunga overrun. Anything that can help knock your enemies into holes or the water can be huge game changers. Alright, it is looking to me like Sakia is taking a Bastion, a man after my own heart. Whiskery is on, what's it called? Venture. Ragai is taking Lifeweaver. Comedy is on Orisa, and Elkratz is on Kiriko. And it looks like we have an Iliari from 11 Father. Sparks Jedi is on Junkrat. Cactus is on Freya. Frog in a Pond is on Moira. Pezzy's on Sigma. Armies onward! Alright. Looks like we're gonna fly up to our first point here. Professor Comedy, our captain, leading the charge. We engage in a little high ground firefight. And it looks like we have our first kill of the match. Alright, it is unlocked, and looks like Whiskery makes it in. And it was a halfway capture for the Legends, and looks like the Legends are going to start capturing. Guerrillas, meanwhile, hiding behind a wall. Alright, I see the Guerrillas coming from underneath. Up goes that barrier. Comedy trying to sneak in, and I see healing Suzu. Bastion goes down. It looks like the Lemon Father's turret, and Whiskery is down. And down goes Comedy. Guerrillas are back at their spawn. Guerrillas are hanging out as a pedal platform goes up. Looks like Ragai just hanging around, trying to get a gauge of where people are.
Hey there.
Alright, looks like we're gonna head back into the fight. Try to avoid some long-distance fire courtesy of Cactus. And I see that Sakia has switched on the Soldier, and Comedy is on Zarya now. They just saw that beam go out. And looks like we're driving into the fray. Sparks Jedi is holding this down with everything they have. I hear a bullet shot go out. Doesn't seem to slow us down, though. Ragai trying to take on a Pezzy. Guerrillas are hanging behind cover again as we go past the 80% mark. Alright, we're past the 85. Guerrillas trying to take the fight from behind cover, and I see that bubble barrier. Looks like we have a tree of life going up. That Riptire takes down Sakia. But the Guerrillas are about to start a contest here as the overtime goes in. With an enemy gravity flux that doesn't seem to take nope, takes down Comedy with an accretion. And down goes Whiskery too. And it looks like that one's gonna go to the Legends.
Going up.
It's not all lost yet, folks. We can still turn this around. Because remember, it's first to 2. That is only 1. 1 is not 2. Alright, looks like this will be the site of our next matchup. So we've taken the sights, sounds, and quote-unquote smells of Greece. Looks like we're going to keep our lineup pretty much the same here. Sakuya is going to stay on the Soldier. No real changes to take note of.
5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
Round
Let's get back in there.
Capture the objective.
Alright, I hear some kunai go out as we destroy some nice crystal pottery. Hey, you break it, you buy it. Alright, we're trying to take the fight from long range. I love the smell of pulse munitions in the morning. There we go. Alright, Comedy is working on taking a beam to the enemy. That bubble shield goes down. Alright, and the gorillas are going to start capture on this one. I see the scraps from a rat trap. Hellcrotch and Sakia go down, nothing we can't handle. So it looks like Whisker's going to burrow into the scene. Uh-oh, this one's getting contested. Alright, and the Legends are going to start capture on this one. The gorillas are about to run back into the fray, unafraid. No, we do not want to follow a frog in a pond.
Taste of poison.
Looks like we have a bit of a tank-on-tank matchup here. So the gorillas work on trying to knock down that Sigma. A pedal platform is up, and I hear a bolus. Courtesy of frog in a pond, or no, ink cactus. Looks like trying to heal. Decided not to get hit in the face with gravity orbs. Gorillas are trying to sneak in. But it looks like Sakia and Rygai go down. The Cactus is down as well. Comedy, meanwhile, taking the charge. And Comedy is trapped. Nothing that slows them up, though. I hear the sound of laser light as we jump into the point. And we are having a contest here. The gravity flux. Looks like Whiskery has switched onto a May. And they are about to pass the 75% mark. The gorillas are back at full strength, trying to take a fight from behind cover. Sakia getting all the healing he can. As our ice wall comes up, the gorillas are about to jump into the fray with contest. Can we pull it off? There's that Tree of Life and Kitsune Rush. And I hear a Riptire. Doesn't seem to do anything to us, though. I hear a Coalescence, and... oh, the gorillas might have a contest here. We sure do, and this one's coming back to the gorillas. As we get them retreating back to their corner. Is trying to stop their entry as I see that Freya fly into the air. I try not to get hit in the face with bullets. It's like Comedy leading a valiant effort as Whiskery goes into a freeze. Meanwhile, Rygai, Sakia is trying to fight from behind cover. There goes that tactical advisor. There's a bolus as well. I don't think that slows us down at all. Uh-oh, we have another contest from the Legends. The gorillas are not letting them have it. So we hit the 60% mark. Alright, I hear that blizzard. And... oh, we stop the contest for now. 71, and it goes back to the Legends. Alright, I hear a gravity flux as that takes Sakia. And it looks like the Legends are going to take round 1. And who is the player of the game here? Looks like a Sigma PT. Yes, listen to the sounds of insanity from our very own Sigma. All right, folks. Well, that's going to take us to a break. Looks like the Legends lead 1-0. When we come back, we're going to have a hybrid round for you. So, don't keep it don't go too far, folks, cuz I have a feeling we could have a comeback on our hands even though it's still early in the game. Stick around. Alright folks, we are taking you to a hybrid game here. Hybrid, for those of you unaware, is essentially a mixture of Flashpoint and another mode we have on here, Escort. Basically, you have to one team starts by capturing a point, and then they have to move a payload. The other team has to do everything humanly imaginable not to do that. We are in King's Row, the gorilla's home, like your home and mine. And we have Professor Comedy taking a Reinhardt, Elkrat's on a Moira, Ryguy is taking on a Sojourn, Whiskery on a Mei, and finally Sakuya on a Juno. So fairly familiar lineup for us, as I see Reinhardt go Drift. We're taking on a Junker Pezzy, Lemon Father on Lucio, Frogging upon Moira, Sparks Jedi Reaper, Inked Cactus Freya. As we do the teabag.
Good to see you.
I'm seeing they have a pretty short-range opposition on our hands, more specifically the Junker Queen and the Reaper, possibly the Lucio, but looks like we have fairly long-range supports on our team, and then a Professor Comedy Reinhardt that can stop them up if need be, so I am not too worried about that lineup. Whiskery appears to be frozen, not anymore, as that ice wall goes up to stop them from coming in. As I approach on the Master Montana statue, Comedy skids away. Alright, looks like they begin capture.
Big Steiner left.
Where'd the girls go? Alright. So they are starting the payload run. Oh, I see a fire strike. The gorillas are back in action, baby. Trying to fight from behind and get us all healed up. Trying to wait for that payload to come to us, as I see a shadow step from Sparks Jedi. Shield is up. Ball goes down. And we have stopped the payload over here. Take a Comedy protection here. As that shield comes up. Alright, we have a Coalescence going out. So we're charging in to deal some more damage. So we take on a Frog and a Pond. As we get healed up here. I see an Earth Shatter, and I hear Juno is on fire, compliments of our very own Izayoi Sakuya, and the payload is moving the other way as Lemon Father switches onto a Juno. Alright, the gorillas they don't take it, I hear a Bolus. Seems to hit us though. Now the gorillas are just hiding behind the cover. Oh, was this a Legend sneak attack? There's that Earth Shatter. Down go Pezzy and Frog in a Pond. A wall is heading up. And the payload is moving again. Comedy and Whiskery are down. I see my friends coming in from the checkpoint. They have a long way to go, so let's follow them. See, it looks like Ryguy decided to take the high ground, a very clever play. I hear a commanding shout, but it looks like that barrier still holds. Never mind. The gorillas are working on getting that payload to move backwards. The Legends are staying aggressive. So that payload is moving backwards, even though Comedy is down. Ice wall goes up. Looks like we only have a Pezzy coming in. Pezzy moves on the other side. I hear a Death Blossom has been shut down. Sakuya is back in action. There's that hyper ring, but a fire strike comes on out. Alright, looks like they're starting to get into the last checkpoint. But I hear the sounds of an angry German man. And we have a friendly Colisens, but a Bola shot goes out. And we have a Sakuya satellite beam. What is going on, folks? Alright, there's that commanding Shao. And they are just inches away from the point, but we are contesting, it would appear. Minute 50 left in this. Alright, the payload is on that checkpoint, which means the gorillas should spawn in fairly close. Yep, there they are. The gorillas are starting to rally their numbers. Looks like Whiskery decides to go it alone. Comedy hits a wall, and we are live. Comedy trying to keep that barrier stable. We make sure that it doesn't move. Let's see, it looks like Soldier's trying to take down the Creeper, and does. Looks like we have an orbital ray that doesn't slow us down. There was a blizzard down too. We have an overclock and a earth shatter that can happen whenever as well. Sparks Jedi and Pezzy and Lemon Father go down. Alright, we have a 2.5 minutes left. Down goes the hammer. And there goes those homing pulsars to heal us. We're gonna follow a Rygai now. That railgun does its job. I hear a bolus. I don't think that slicks us up at all. We are cleverly saving that overclock. Uh-oh, Comedy is down. The Legends are heading back to the payload. Comedy stays in ice and goes down. Sakuya goes down as well. But I see my friends up ahead.
This ends now.
Alright, there goes that overclock. But a Death Blossom on the point takes out Sakuya and Rygai. Whiskery takes down Jedi though, no problem. Comedy is down as well. Down goes Whiskery too. Oh, and that's a team kill for the Legends. And the Legends take this one, but it's not over yet, folks. The gorillas need to do all of that to tie it. If they can fend us off, though, for that entire duration, then this round goes to the Legends. I am not scared, though.
Initiating match.
Alright, we are going to head back to the point. As we fly over the London skyline. Okie dokie, Artichoke. Who are we going to be taking on this time? Survey says...
Ready for battle.
Alright, Elkra is not much. Okay, some stuff has changed. Rygai is back on the soldier. Comedy has taken Shiva.
No place in mine.
And then Whiskery is on Symmetra now. And it looks like we're dealing with an Orisa, an Ana, another Moira, another Freya, and then a Bastion. Alright, looks like we're finding excuses to burn bullets. Alright, let's follow Elkratz into the fray.
Hello.
Alright.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As I see that pixel Moira spray. Alright. Let's go take us a point.
If it must be done, let it be done quickly.
Alright, looks like we're focusing on the Comedy Diva as the defense matrix goes in. The gorillas are running to the high ground, and I fly. Always a clever move to take the high ground, as I see a booster defense matrix. We do a little bit of pew pew pew. And we're digging in behind cover. Ryguy and Swiftry are down. Looks like we are still cleverly using that defense matrix from a high ground firefight.
A taste of poison.
Guerrillas remaining vigilant amidst the fire. Let's give you a low-down perspective to see what's going on here. Alright, the Guerrillas have jumped to the low ground as well. And looks like we do not take down a fortified Risa. Alright, Toki go boom. Looks like we were fanning out for biotic field. There goes that bouncing biotic orb from who I cannot tell. Alright, and Toki is back in the game. Alright, looks like we're working on absorbing those Risa bullets. It looks like that gun gets pretty heated. And I hear... Alright, a nano booster is out on the Pezzy. Alright. Ryguy and Sakia are down. They should be back any moment though, as the comedy works on restoring health. Alright, Ryguy and Sakia are back in. Whiskery is taking some damage. Hey, I see my friends over here. Work on charging back into the fray. Let's follow Ryguy around for a bit. Alright, Toki's back in. Alright, we have a first coach here. Alright, and we're gonna get started on that capture here, folks. Amidst a fortified Risa, that doesn't seem to hold us down at all. Comedy takes down Ink Cactus for good measure, thanks to those micro missiles.
My ultimate is ready.
Alright, we have a tactical visor ready as well, so is a self-destruct and pulse in a orbital ray. Alright, and we are in business, folks.
Escort the payload.
Alright, we gotta get that payload moving out of its hangar. Out she goes. Ryguy hangs on there like a sentry. Alright, there goes some friendly satellite beam. Alright. So the Guerrillas are trying to sneak into their cover. The Whiskery goes rushing out. Alright, there goes a tectonic shock and a terror surge. Looks like Whiskery gets a double kill alongside the Comedy and Sakuya. Ryguy, meanwhile, hanging out from a distance, trying to fire down. Looks like Bastion has broken down. I am hitting the wrong keys to move around. And we are just coasting along as we get into that reactor. Checkpoint. The Guerrillas are looking to make sure that our stop goes on. It has no detours. Alright guys, still smoothing sailing along. Pezzy has switched onto a Roadhog. Also a good threat to take down from a long distance, something that the Juno and Whiskery can do. Alright, down goes a biotic field. In comes the payload. And we are on checkpoint. Now let's stick with Whiskery for a little bit. Or not Whiskery, Ryguy. Sounds like the big pig is taking a breather. But Ink Cactus goes down. Courtesy of Ryguy. Looks like trying to stop the big pig from healing. Alright, cleverly placed self-destruct. That wipes out Lemon Father. I hear configuration artillery. That looks like that takes down Ryguy and Eldrax. Doesn't stop our payload though. Here, those contests. Alright, Mech is down. Comedy is down. But we are still pretty far along, and we have about 3 minutes left on the clock. So I am not overly concerned. Alright, where are we? Here we are. burrowing it with here. Looks like he got hooked. We have tactical visor and an orbital ray. We have to avoid a nano booster Roadhog. Alright, Desi takes down Whiskery, but it's nothing I'm concerned about as bad news pours as Roadhog goes down. And it looks like the point of the card is going to make it to the point. Inked Cactus is trying to fight for cover, but Comedy goes in after. And... uh-oh, 2 sentences. Thanks. Alright. The barrier is stopped just shy of the point as we have a full hog to avoid. That takes down our Whiskery, and Elcratch is down as well. But we are inches away, and a self-destruct goes out. And Diva gets hooked. The Comedy's trying to take it to Pezzy. We've got under a minute and a half left. We've got Sleep Guardian, but that can slow us down a bit. Comedy is out from the back. Ryguy is trying to take down from cover.
60 seconds.
Alright, we have a minute left on the clock. If we can't push it in to be there at that minute, then it's round goes to the Legends. Gorilla's remaining aggressive though. Down goes Whiskery. I see the Gorilla's gathering behind cover. Are they? Alright, phew, we are moving. I was worried for a second they were trying to throw the match. Alright. The Gorilla's remaining vigilant, the hook does nothing. We got 30 seconds left as Whiskery goes burrowing in. Comedy is down. Alright, 15 seconds left. Get that card moving. The Bolus goes in. Looks like that hits Ryguy. Looks like Pezzy's chasing down 76. 3, 2, 1. We are hitting overtime here, folks. Alright, I hear a tactical visor go up. Cart's moving. And the cart has reached its destination. No? Ooh, we have a late game contest here. We have a Gorilla team kill, and this one goes to the Gorillas, but more importantly, Gorilla team kill. Thank you. I'll have another.
3. Switching sides.
Alright, heroes are being assembled here.
Initiating match.
Legends have a minute on the clock to get to see what damage they can do as I try to make my way over. I cannot move over there. Alright, 2 seconds to see who our lineup is going to be. Pezzy has taken a Maunga. Uh-oh. That Maunga does scare me just a little bit. Not just because Maunga is a...
Here to detain me?
Wait, hang on. Where do we go? Yeah, that Maunga pick does scare me a little bit. Not only because he is a jumped-up, bloodthirsty maniac who carries 2 chain guns around like toys, he also has the ability... He's basically a distraction. Like, that's his main job in the game. He has no formal defense mechanisms outside of cardiac or overdrive, but even then, that's only so much defense. So his main role is just to be a meat shield. However, Gorillas have made some pretty emotional plays in the past involving Maunga, where Maunga would be their one and only priority, while the other guys could knock them down. So let's hope that doesn't happen here. Alright, stay strong, everyone. We're trying to knock down that chain gun. Becomes an overrun. Seems to slow us up at all. I'm trying to freeze the enemy. There's the enemy free. Ryguy goes down. Okay, they have 30 seconds to do something. Looks like Comedy, Whiskery, and Sakuya are down. Uh-oh, we almost have a team kill on their end. And...
Victory!
It looks like the Legends are taking round 2. Don't give me that smug look, Pezzy.
Play of the game.
Alright, Sparks Jedi takes our play of the game here. Oh yes, that configuration. Well, folks, we are currently losing 2-0, but it is not over yet. After this, we are going to have the Flashpoint round for you. I think a comeback is possible still, so hang in there, folks. We'll see you soon.
To Suravasa.
And we are live again, folks.
Initiating match.
Flashpoint is the name of the game here, and it is basically Control's baby brother. So you have 5 points in one game, and the first one to capture capture 3 points is the winner. Suravasa is the name of the map here. Looks like the Gorillas are working on assembling their teams, so it's the Legends. Alright, who are we taking?
Ready for battle.
Alright, Ragai is taking a Tracer, and Kratz is back on, what's it called, Kiriko. Should be really only a big change. Lemon Father is back on the Idiari, and Inked Cactus is taking a Junkrat now. Alright.
5,
4, 3, 2,
1.
1. Armies onward.
Initial flashpoint. Mark it.
Alright, looks like the market is going to be our initial flashpoint. We're going to hitch a ride with Ragai.
Hey there! I'll put you back.
Flashpoint unlocked in 10 seconds.
Alright. We're trying to stop an early game firefight in the high ground. Alright, it is opening, and looks like the Gorillas are going to start the capture. Ooh, down goes Whiskery and Ragai and Elkratz. And looks like the Legends are going to start capture. Looks like we're trying to take it down from a long distance bullet spray from the Diva. As we try to regroup here. Looks like that scrap goes flying back out. You can see the bouncy bombs. Looks like they're past 50% as the Whiskery stays aggressive. Alright, the Gorillas have started capture now. As I see a bunch of... what are those, cloves? Whatever they are. It does not matter as we're working on keeping out the intruders. Gorillas are trying to fight from the inside. Make sure they don't get in. They found another way in. Doesn't seem to hold us up, though. Alright, and Whiskery takes on the Spartan Jedi with the help of Elkratz and Nakitsune Rush, of course. There's that orbital ray heading in as Frog and a Pond goes down. They're working on breaking the bacon here. Comedy's mech goes down. I hear a Riptire that takes down Whiskery. But the Gorillas are still ahead in the capture game. Alright, Ragai goes down. There's that captive son, but I hear a self-destruction go in that takes down Inked Cactus. Alright, we are in overtime as it goes back to the Legends. Hello, voice crack. But it looks like Comedy is saying, not today. Alright. We're staying fierce here. The Legends capture count is still ticking. Alright, that one goes to the Legends, but it's not over yet.
Next flashpoint, Palace.
The Palace shall be our next flashpoint. I feel a mine go over my head. Looks like Warguy takes down Sparks Jedi early to the hunt.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
Alright, and the Gorillas are looking like they're going to take the initial capture. Alright, let's get to work. Trying to hold him off from afar. There's a missed chain hook. Ragai is back from Slammer. Comedy has been stunned and out of the mech. Looks like Pezzy is staying aggressive, but it doesn't look like that chain hook lands at all, as it looks like Whiskery tries to whittle them away from behind. We are back in the mech. Ragai goes down. Doesn't seem to hold us up, though, as we about to hit the 50% mark. Comedy doing what all good captains do and stand in front of his team.
Nerf this!
Alright, I hear the sound of self-destruction, and it looks like that takes down Lemon Father's healing turret. Alright, looks like the Legends have started capture here. While the Guerrillas work on coming back into the front. Wait. Let's follow Saki around for a little bit. Work on space gliding. Trying to do a little long range shift here. We do a hover, and there's that orbital ray ready to roll. We're trying to take it in from the inside.
Enemy turret sighted.
Sorting out the
Alright. We have a Kitsune Rush and a Tectonic Shock and an orbital ray. And Spark Jedi goes down. Pezzy's out. He's about to be hit. We almost had ourselves a Guerrilla team kill, but it's not gonna affect anything as we're about to hit the 90% mark. And let's go. That one, Palace goes to the Guerrillas. Where shall our next point be?
Flashpoint.
Alright, looks like our next flashpoint's gonna be over here. The Legends beat us to it as that biotic orb does nothing to me. Guerrilla's trying to take the cover fight. Alright, we have a Venture rushing in. But Whiskery gets hooked and cooked. So it looks like Ragai takes down that Lemon Father. Alright, we have a barrier go up.
Nerf this!
Alright, self-destruction. And that takes out Frog in a Pond. Alright, Legends have started capture as the Guerrillas work on retreating. What's going on here? Oh, they're regrouping, probably.
Heyo!
There we go. Alright, after that tactical regroup. The Legends are already about to hit the 30% mark, but we're going in aggressive. Alright, there's that tactical visor, but we have to avoid a Captain's Son. A Riptire is a double kill on Ragai and Sakia, but we take down that healing pylon. Guerrillas remaining aggressive from the sides.
Misery made manifest.
The Guerrillas are regrouping in the back again. Right, up goes that defense matrix. Alright, we're about to hit the 90% mark. The Guerrillas need to get in there. Alright, we're hitting overtime as an Ice Wall blocks my vision, but not for long because I know the magic of aerial view. Alright, down goes Comedy and Ragai because of that whole hog. Alright, the Garden goes to the Legends. One more and they win this. But
Temple.
the Temple is our next object. I know the Guerrillas. They stay aggressive, and when they have control, they win it all. Alright, we're gonna go fly to the Temple now. Catch a ride with Sakuya again.
Heyo!
Flashpoint unlocked.
Alright, there go those pulsars. One does damage to Roadhog, the other heals Weeva.
Excavation
There goes that
initiation!
Tectonic Shock. And Whiskery gets trapped and taken out, courtesy of Pezzy. But we are going to lead the capture on this one. Looks like the neck went through, but looks like we're remaining vigilant inside the temple. invaders don't do anything. Down goes Sakuya.
Taste of poison.
And it looks like the Legends are going to start their attempt. Gorilla's regrouping meanwhile. Yep, looks like we have some healing getting done on the D.Va. The Gorilla's hiding behind cover, leading with a defense matrix. Gorilla's remaining aggressive as that cover continues, and there goes the Kitsune rush. Ice wall doesn't hold me down. And we have broken the ice as Rygar goes rushing in.
Walking satellite vector.
There goes that orbital ray, looking to do some damage. And Toki goes boom. He goes back in.
Too much glare.
And looks like we take down that captive sun. Alright, we're up to the 87 mark. Alright, we're doing a little sky blasting, but we are hitting overtime here as a blizzard goes out. Alright, we have a full hog to worry about here. And it is a kill fest here, folks, as that overtime clock gets stalled, and the Gorillas resume their capture. Alright, looks like we have a Reaper and a Zarya to deal with now, and a Junkrat. No known changes here for the Gorillas. But the Gorillas holding strong. Taking you on from a comedy perspective now. As the mech goes boom and we go down. But we are holding 80% now. Uh-oh, there's a capture. Started. And we're back into overtime as that clock whittles down. Can the Gorillas save it?
Receive my aid.
And that goes to the Legends, and the Legends win. So that bumps us to 3-2 on the season now. Who is our play of the game here? Elkrat, our very own Elkrat, has gotten a play of the game.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Ah, yes, that Kitsune rush.
Welcome to
Back to market. We saved that. We saved Sakuya. Well, folks, it's not over yet. Because there we go. We have some more Overwatch 2 action waiting for you. Join us back here at 9 o'clock tonight when we take on the Blue Jays of Creighton University. The stream's not over yet, so in the meantime, though, we played our hardest, and that's what matters. So, stand by, folks, because we have another game coming right up.